What is up, traders? My name is Fernando, and in this video I'll be showing you guys how banks trick traders into losing money. Let's get into it. So what a lot of people don't know is that banks also trade, right? Banks also trade the markets, and because they trade with so much capital, they have the power to influence the markets, right? So as you guys can see right here, I'll be using the Euro United States currency pair to demonstrate this to you guys. So there is multiple ways in which the banks manipulate the markets in order for you guys to lose money and for them to make a lot more money, basically, right? So in this video I'll only be focusing on one technique they use, right? So as you guys can see right here, and this actually applies mostly to people that trade support and resistance, right? And also naked traders. So naked eye traders, my bad. So as you guys can see right here, right, we clearly see that we have a downtrend, right? So over here, this is where we place our resistance, right? After getting these two resistance areas, this is the first point. Actually, this is the second point, right, where the market failed to buy above, right? So that basically tells us that this is our resistance. So if you were trading in real time, obviously this is where you would place your resistance block, right? This rectangle which represents resistance, right? And naturally, getting around here, you would expect to see a reversal and for the market to continue selling, right? Which it does. But now how these banks trick you is that, for example, let's say, let me just rewind this, right? Just bear with me, my computer is a bit slow, it's a bit slow. I think I might have some viruses or something. Okay, there we go. So let's say when the market gets to this area around here, you decide that's where you're gonna open your trade. So let's say this is where we are, right? And we are live trading right now. You decide to go and open a trade for a sell. You basically decide to go for a short. This is how it would play out. Let me just put the whole setup so that it's easy for you guys to like catch up with me. Okay, let's do this. Let's say you decide to go for a short position, right? This is where you'd basically be opening your trade. So I'd place this here and then okay, let's say this is where your take profit, you were planning on putting your take profit, and this is where you were planning on putting your stop loss, which would make sense, right? Because it's above the previous lower high, right? That's where you should place your stop loss, above your just right above your previous lower high, right? Cool. And then this setup makes sense, right? Technically it makes sense, but these banks know that a lot of people are gonna place their stop losses here because the market has never broken above this level, right? So a trader that's still an amateur or beginner, this is where they would place their stop losses, right? And now look what happens. Okay, let me just play this. We're now hypothetically trading in real time, right? This is what would happen. Boom, your stop loss is hit. Before you even think of doing anything, the next two candles would have stopped you out of the market. And they do this because they know that a lot of traders set their stop losses here. Even worse, you know what happens now? As soon as this candle breaks above, right, especially on a smaller time frame, it closes. It will, for example, on a 30 minutes, this would have closed on a bullish, right? So now a lot of traders close their short positions. Basically, they sell trades, and they now think, okay, the market has broken this resistance area. That means that we're now going for a buy, only for the market to turn. So now the banks have managed to swoop out people that were going for short positions, basically selling their positions by using this reversal, and also trick people into going for a buy, basically a long position, because on a smaller time frame, this would have been a bullish, right? This would have closed on a bullish. So also now you have people that went for a buy only for the market to reverse and just like continue falling, right? This is one scenario. Let me just like let it play out fully actually. Then you see, just continue selling. At this point, you would have been stopped out a long time ago, right? So how do you prevent this from happening? So whenever you get a breakout, you have to wait, well, for a very high probability trade, which a lot of people would not be patient enough to wait for. But like best case scenario is for you to, let me just use a path so that it's easy for you to understand what I'm trying to say to you guys. Here we go. So the best thing that you would do is wait for the market to fully break out, buy, and then ideally it would, resist around here or retest around here, and then come around down here to like test this area again. And then once you get a bullish candle at this area going upwards, that's when you would enter, right? That gives you a high probability trade, meaning that it gives you a trade that has a high probability of being profitable, right? So second suggestion for people that really cannot be patient, or like that are not patient enough and want to maximize their profits, you basically wait for the market to close on a strong bullish candle here, right? So you would wait for the market to close on a full bullish candle and not a candle that is bearish like this. So if this had closed on a bullish candle that like filled all the way up, then you would know that there is good momentum going to the upward side. That's how you would have prevented being stopped out like this, right? So let's move on to the next currency pair and see further examples of how these fake breakouts are used by banks to steal money from you, basically trick you into losing money in a stupid way. And guys, don't even feel weird or anything. This happens to a lot of traders, right? It happens to a lot of traders, especially if you're a beginner or, I don't know, for whatever reason, haven't noticed these types of tricks that banks want you to fall for. It took me some time to realize this or be aware, but now that I am sharing this with you guys, because I really want everyone that follows my journey to also win, right? Okay, let's just wait for this to load. Okay, here we go. So as you guys can see right here, we have ourselves the Bitcoin against the United States dollar, right? Basically Bitcoin. And I don't know if you guys noticed, as you guys saw actually in the previous currency pair that I used, being the Euro United States dollar, the fake breakout occurred when market tested the resistance area for the third time. So I want you guys to see that there's actually a pattern to this. There's literally a pattern to this, and if you capitalize on this, you're bound to make money and stop being fooled by these banks. Okay, let me just center this so that you guys can see. Okay, I'm sorry guys, my computer is really slow, but like here we go. So if you guys pay attention, you'll see that there is a pattern to this, right? So if you look at this is called an inclining diagonal, right? So we have price trapped between these two trend lines, right? So if you actually pay attention, you'll see that price touched this trend line once around this area right here, and then came again, touched it for the second time, right? And now like look at what happened when price came and tested this trend line for the third time. We had our fake breakout, right? And what a normal trader would have done is they would have been like, okay, price touched this trend line right here and then fell, and then came again for the second time, touched it and fell, right? And then now obviously if you trading in real time, as soon as you get this resistance right here, you would set up your trend line. You would place your trend line as you see right here, and then you would basically be expecting for price to fall all the way down as soon as it touches this area right here, right? But then now the banks obviously are not stupid. They know this. So they manipulate the market in a way that people that sell at this area get stopped out, right? See how these people are smart. So let's say we were trading in real time. Let's just rewind it, right? I'm just gonna place the setup for a short so I can demonstrate to you guys what I mean. What is this? Okay, here we go. Let's say, okay, decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for a short position. Cool. And then you basically bear in mind at this point, right, you have your trend line set up already. So you place your your take profit around here, right? You're using proper risk, everything looks just about right. Let me just like narrow it down to the 1 hour so that I can show you guys properly. Okay. And then just gonna take this, place it. Okay, before we actually do that, let me just rewind it so that you guys can see. We give it a feel of like you trading live, right? Let's say as soon as this candle, yeah. Okay, no. Let's rewind it even further. Let's rewind it even further. Let's okay. Let's say now this is real time, right? So the market goes. No, man, what is happening? My bad, yeah, here we go. So this is where we are, right? And then, okay, because previously Why did my trend line move? What the hell happened here? Okay, let me just fix this trend line. Drag it all the way here. Sorry, this is where it was. For some reason, for some odd reason, whenever like you go to a lower time frame, the trend line sometimes moves. I don't know why it does that, but it is what it is. So just gonna wait for this to load. This is where we had our trend line, right? And then somewhere around here, you decide that, you know what, I'm gonna open my trade. Let's say this is the area that you open your trade at, right? Let's do this. You decided that, you know what, I'm gonna enter the market somewhere around here. When price reaches this area, I'm gonna enter my trade, right? And then you enter it somewhere around here because you know that previously every time price hit the trend line, it's sold, right? And you are expecting a sell on the bigger time frame. The prediction is for a sell. Cool. In real time, you would have placed your stop loss right about just a bit above the trend line, right? And then look what would have happened. And this would actually, people that do not have the patience to wait for the markets would have been the ones would have been the first ones to get stopped out, because before this candle even closes, this bullish candle that you see right here, they would have entered the market because they would expect for the market to reverse as soon as it touches the trend line. But like, look at what happens now. It breaks above, but that does not mean that it's gonna buy. It breaks above so that people that do not have the patience to wait for the markets people that do not have the patience to wait for the right setup would have been the ones to get kicked out first, because they would have not waited for this candle to close. Now look at what happens. They enter the market too early before this even closes, before this candle even closes, and then they get stopped out. And then you have the second trader, the second naive trader, who will, as soon as this candle closes, they'll be like, okay, this candle broke above, so that means we're going for a buy. They close their sell positions on a loss, and try to, in a way, also revenge trade to make back what they lost, and then they go for a buy. Let me just put the setup for a buy. And then right now we're looking for a long, right? We're looking for a setup for a long position. So here's what a trader that does not have patience and that's naive would have done. So now, because this candle broke above, this is what they would do. Instead of waiting for the right time, they do this. Oh, it closed here. So this is where they enter, basically. This is where they basically enter, and now they'd be entering for a buy position. A buy position is a long position, right? I'm just gonna wait for this to load. This is really frustrating. I honestly do not know what's causing my computer to be so slow. Okay, here we go. Right, so now they've entered. I'm just gonna remove this for now, or let me just move this short position. put that to the side. Okay. So this is what a trader that does not have patience would have done. Now they would have placed, what's this? Their buy positions round about here, right? This is where they would have decided to buy because this is where the candle closed, right? Okay, and now look at what would have happened. I'm gonna play it for you in real time. Ideally, this is where they would place their stop loss, right? Which makes sense only if you've gotten a proper confirmation that we're going for a buy. But now they place their buy positions here without proper analysis, right? Just revenge trading. My God. Okay. Let's drag this up here. So let's say this is the position that they entered for a buy. This is what would have happened. Look at how crazy this is. Boom, stop loss hit. And now what happens? Eventually, the market goes for a sell again. See? And when you think about this is what mentally messes up a lot of traders. Knowing that if they had just been patient long enough, they would have realized that no, you know what, there is no actual momentum to the upside, right? Because at this point, even if they had just waited for just 2 more candles, they would have realized that, okay, there's no real momentum. That means that there's a huge possibility that this is a fake breakout. This is the bank's manipulation to sweep out people that were trying to go for a buy, sweep out people that were selling, and put their stop losses above the chain lines. Because a lot of people trade using chain lines, the majority of traders actually, right? So this is how you would have gotten stopped out of the trade, whether you were buying or selling, only because of one main reason: you are not patient enough, right? So this is why it's really important, guys, for you to be patient and wait for the right confirmation before you enter any trades. So in this scenario, you might wonder what could you have done to be sure that you're gonna continue either selling or buying. So let's say you thought this was gonna buy. So what you should have done ideally is wait for, because this is a very strong, this here at this area right here, we had a very strong movement to the upside, right? And whenever we have such a strong movement, we know that price has to liquidate, right? We have to fill up liquidity. So this price was bound to fall back down. So if you wanted to sell, what you should have done is wait for the market to get to this area right here. Let me just zoom in even further so that's clearer. So what you should have done is wait for price to kind of fill up this liquidity area right here, this gap that you have. You should have waited until price retested, right? And then wait for a very strong bullish candle that closes above this candle, this bearish candle that you see right here. That would tell you that there's a very high chance of of the market going for a buy, and that's when you could think about entering your buy positions. And if you were trying to go for a sell, right, and you thought okay the market is going to touch here and sell, what you should have done is wait for price to give you a strong bearish candle, right? So what you should have done if you were trying to go for a sell is wait for the market to retest and give you a structure first, right? So what I mean by structure is a recognizable pattern, Let me use trend lines to show you. Sorry. You should always well, at least in most cases, always try to wait for the market to give you a pattern in which you recognize. So let me put this here. If I was to place this trend line right here and then go and place another one, you can't even see. Let me do this. Right here, you would have realized that, okay, you know what, we have some sort of a channel, right? And then in either way where the price decides to break out of, let's say price decided to buy above this channel right here, then you would know, okay, we're going for a buy, because firstly we broke out of this main channel, and secondly now we're breaking out of this main this smaller channel. Then you would know, okay, we're going for a buy, because these two resistance area, you see this trend line touched price here, this price touched this trend line here, and secondly here. So you would know, okay, now we have a proper resistance. I can place my trend line, as you see. Let me just move above. You would have placed your trend line just like this, right? So that's because you know that price resisted this area right here. Price touched this trend line twice, so you would know, okay, if price now breaks above this trend line here, you know for sure we're going for a buy. But if it doesn't and it comes down here and then it retests and then breaks below, you know for sure, okay, we're going back into the main channel. And if that happens, we know that we have a sell. This is how you would have done it. Let me place this support here. See, there's a lot of what you would call support here. So as soon as you got this bearish candle that you see, right here, this would have been the perfect place for you to enter your sells, because first of all, price went back into the main channel below this trend line, and second of all, it would have now broken this support that you see right here. So after getting this candle, this is where you would have placed your sell position. So let me just use this previous. This is where you would have entered this trade, and then obviously you have to place your stop loss above above the previous lower high, being this candle that closed right here. So this is how you would have entered this market, and then boom, your take profit would have been hit perfectly, almost way too perfect, So this is how you avoid being taken out of the markets because of fake breakouts, guys. Fake breakouts are the results of the manipulation of big banks and big organizations that have the power to influence the markets. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and hopefully from now onwards you will be able to avoid being tricked into taking trades that are not gonna make you any money. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below what video you would like to see me put out next. Till next time.